Gotta make sure I don't move so far as to show you that there's a light back there. I gotta stay like right here. About a month back when I first got my DJI digital FPV goggles, I basically accused them of not being able to run on analog video. The latency was too high. It was basically pulling time off of heats, and I knew that with the amount of latency that was in there, it was not going to be flyable. A couple people followed through on that and made their own videos, and they found that, yeah, in fact, there was like 75 milliseconds of latency. Now, that's not really a ton, but in terms of like racing performance or something like that, it's gonna cost you time per lap. So I actually reached out to DJI directly. I had a contact there that I had spoken with about stuff in the past, and I said, hey, I think something's wrong. Can you guys take a look at it? Lo and behold, about a month later, new firmware version comes out, and guess what? They've addressed the latency on the AV input, or the digital, or the analog to digital conversion, and supposedly there's no more, or at least significantly reduced latency between AV input and the goggles. So the goal, or the hope, is that now you might be able to get away with just having your DJI goggles and not having to carry around two sets, one for analog and one for digital. I don't have the faceplate for these things, but there's faceplates that you can get that replace the whole front of this, and you have a digital, built into the goggles, and then an analog built into the faceplate, so you can actually get both digital and FPV and analog FPV into these. Now, I don't have that, so I'm going to take out my trusty Clearview. I'm going to mount it on my head. No, I'm not going to do that. But I am going to bring this out to the field. We're going to go fly. We're going to test it. We're going to see, is this now up to the standards that we need for it to be able to fly in analog. In the previous video, I'll link it on this side, or I don't remember where the thing is. I did a very scientific approach to it. I set lap times and kind of recorded things against it. I don't have time to do that this time around. The track is gone right now because it's winter time, which we'll also talk about a little bit. And so I just need to get out there and just try some things and see what happens with regards to the whole the latency. I'll kind of talk through what I'm experiencing, how I'm feeling about it, and it's going to be a little bit less scientific, so I apologize for that. But at least I can give you some first impressions, and I'm going to link you to some videos from like RCShim, who did some glass-to-glass latency testing, as well as others, to kind of help prove that point. So let's go out, let's fly this in analog mode. I'll bring my DJI or my Fat Shark goggles as well, and we'll try it and see what happens. So in order to test the DJI goggles, I've come over here to Sam's Park, and I cannot get my arm in my strap for some reason. This is it's one of my favorite places to fly, but it's often kind of filled with people, so it's hard to find the right time to be out here flying. But right now, there's nobody out because it's a little bit cold, and when you're cold weather flying, you need to figure out cool, cold things. And so I got these guys, the Aurora heated mittens. I don't know if you can see that, but it lights up because it's heating the mittens on the inside. When I'm ready to fly, just boom, hang them by the leash, go, 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 put them back in after the flight. It's awesome. I think I've discovered the first thing I don't like about the GoPro 8. Well, not the first thing, but the next thing is for some reason, sometimes I just can't even interact with the touchscreen. Like, it's all on, it's responsive, but like I can't, like it's like there's a lock or something. Anyway, I guess we'll shoot at 30. I was hoping to switch it up to 24, but. So I'm gonna run the GoPro because I want some GoPro footage while I'm here. So we'll have that. I'm running a DVR on the DJI goggles, because now one of the things that it now supports is DJI, or recording of analog feed, which was something that it didn't do before. So now it can record what you get on analog, and it's going to be supposedly at 60 FPS. This video is going to be playing at 30 FPS, so I'll upload a second video that you can click in the description. That's just the DVR, so you can look at it that way. And then we'll do the same thing with the Fat Shark goggles as well. It's going to have to be 2 separate flights because I accidentally forgot a battery for my Clearview, so I'm just using my power play to power it, which is actually pretty neat. So that's the power play, and it's just plugged straight into the goggles, or into the Clearview, and it's running the Clearview. So I don't have the second cable for the Clearview right now, so you don't have video on it, but it could, I could just take this and plug it into the power play and it would be working. But I'm just gonna get the DVR off of the DJI goggles because that's important, and then I'm gonna take this and put it all in the Fat Shark later, and we'll get DVR there as well. Oh, I need to not yank my Clearview off the table. This is what happens when you forget your tripod at home, boys. Well, first thing I noticed is I don't have a Clearview lock. So one of the problems that oh, there we go. So one of the problems that I had with the goggles before, when I tested it earlier, was that the settings for brightness and stuff would stay on the screen permanently, and now they're gone, so that's nice. I'm definitely noticing something, but it's not as noticeable as it had been. Oops. When with those big hard rolls, it's not as noticeable as it once was, the latency. I mean, I'm not struggling with any of the tricks that I want to do. I'm getting some kind of weird, I think this camera is a Runcam Eagle, Micro Eagle. It's lots of noise. Oh no. I think I broke a prop. So yeah, was it noticeable? I don't know, it felt like there was maybe a little bit more than there usually is. Not by a ton, but enough. But at the end of a snap roll, or through the snap roll, it seemed to be within a moment of when I clicked it, though maybe not quite as good. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more flying and then switch over to the Fat Sharks. Let's go find this quad. I thought I hit that tree. A lot of leaves here. Hello, Mr. Drone. Well, it's actually on still, so I guess if I give it an arm test, I'll be able to find it. Where are you at? Holy crap, it's right in front of me. Literally right here the whole time. No broken props, just bent real good. Let's give it the rest of that battery and see what we see. Still got a little bit left on there, I think. Dang it. So many leaves that it just gets stuck. I didn't even see the branches on that. So that's another thing, is like, oh, there's some sort of settings or something it feels like there's too much contrast or something, and it's making it hard to see obstacles are gonna come from, especially with like the Ninja branches out here. It's maybe I'm just used to flying the digital link and I just don't remember how to deal with Ninja branches, but it seems like I'm struggling right now. So yeah, I hit this tree way in the back. Okay, it's gonna be like straight in front of me again. Yeah, I hit the backside of that tree. The quad's right here. Why would you not take off? Literally nothing wrong. So I guess I'm gonna switch over to the Fat Sharks and see if it's something with like the picture of the DJI goggles. Like it seems like there's too high of a contrast of some kind or something like that that's making those branches totally disappear and I can't see them. So I'm gonna switch back over to the Fat Shark goggles and see if they go away, or if they're still gone, or if I can see them better, or what. I don't think it would be that, but we'll try it. Okay, Fat Shark DVR is rolling, / Power Play DVR rather. GoPro's rolling. This is Fat Shark Test 1. I don't know, the Fat Sharks already feel way better. I'm seeing those branches better. Like, let's see, I crashed over here. If I come around this side, yeah. So like I went through those branches the last time and I can see them a lot better on these for some reason. I don't know what it is about the picture that makes it that much different. But yeah, I'm really liking these better for analog still. I feel way more confident. Way more confident. Yeah, like when I was going above the canopy earlier, like I'd come up here, I'd look down and I just couldn't see anything. Now I'm just like, I've got that line right there, no problem. You know what, there could be something related to the clear view though. Like I remember clear views have like, they add a bunch of like weird noise sometimes. So maybe that was related. So I guess we'll have to get out here with another receiver. But in terms of the latency, DJIs seem to be very, very tolerable compared to this. And I'm trying to do some snap rolls and stuff. I think that this still feels better than those did for analog, unfortunately. So I really want the DJI goggles to do analog well. But I'm enjoying this way more for the analog experience. Now, if this was digital, it'd be even better, right? Because I could see every single Ninja branch. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, let's switch back over to the DJI goggles and give it one more go. So I need power play, power. Okay, those are on. DJI goggles are on. Battery. Okay, I'm turning the brightness up to 5 and saturation to 16, which is the highest. Hopefully that'll get me best case scenario. I don't know. I'm gonna try a couple different things and see. Yeah, to be honest, it does feel slightly worse. It's not terrible, but like I just feel a little bit of mushiness between my inputs and the response. But like, again, for freestyle, I don't think this is a problem. For racing, maybe it is, but I'm really not minding this right now. I think I like the picture for analog better on the Fat Sharks though. Again, that might be the clear view though, so I don't know if there's a good way to test that out. I don't have another separate analog receiver. Ooh, couldn't see that one at all. All right, let's try plugging in I think I might be able to plug the Fat Sharks into these. So if I could plug the Fat Shark straight into the goggles, then I would have the same receiver feeding both. Let's see if that does that. How do we do this? Okay, so now I'm getting video into the goggles from the Fat Sharks. Okay, so what I perceived in latency still seems to be about the same. Very subtle, but just a little bit. But the picture is better. So the clear view, or at least my clear view, seems to be degrading a little bit. Like it pulls away it adds some of those confusing like extra colors in there. But with this module, now that's a little bit better. I can see all of the ninja branches more. And now I'm not minding it so much. So I guess maybe with a like that aftermarket faceplate with a module directly tied in instead of a clear view, it would actually be a great situation. Because all I want is to like go freestyling and just carry one set of goggles. Like for racing or whatever, I don't mind bringing my Fat Sharks instead. For commercial work, it would be much better to have one set that works on both. So I'm switching back and forth all the time. Yeah, but for this, I'm not hating on this at all. This is great. I would like maybe to have a little bit narrower field of view. I know that we always talk about field of view being like one of the most important things, but honestly, like if I had a little bit less real estate to like look around with my eyeballs, I would not be sad. Because like at least right now, especially on this freestyle quad with a low camera tilt, I'm finding myself looking up at the top of the screen for the most part. So like my eyes are actually getting a little bit tired trying to like look up. I feel like I'm craning my neck even to do it. But yeah, the little bit of latency I'm not noticing anymore as much. And it's gotta be as good or, it's gotta be as good or better than the digital FPV side of that. So I feel pretty good about that actually. So yeah, DJI, good work. We got rid of, like I think what was really the biggest complaint about AV input. If you're not wanting to race, if you're not super worried about like slightly higher latency, like just, I mean a little bit, barely noticeable, running the digital FPV system goggles with an analog receiver, like especially with that faceplate mod, I think that would be a really solid option, especially for people that are just getting in now. Honestly, I would not hesitate to say get the DJI system for the digital, and then if you ever want to go into analog quads, like especially tiny whoops or like a Tiny Hawk or something that doesn't have enough space on board for a DJI digital FPV system, like the actual air unit, I think that having that faceplate would be a great option. So yeah, I guess I think my final decision for this is that this is really good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and invest in a replacement faceplate to get an analog receiver on it. I'm not gonna rely on it for racing, but when I'm out freestyling or using a tiny whoop or whatever, I wanna be able to grab just one unit. I'll grab the DJI with the mod. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that. So maybe we'll follow up once I get the actual mod, put that together, do all that. But in the meantime, you know, thanks for coming along. Thanks for being excited about, you know, whether or not this works or not for our hobby, and stay flying.